Tonight we're travelling to the crossroads of two worlds, to a night when walls that had stood for 1,000 years finally cracked, and the last flame of Rome guttered out in smoke and fire. Suddenly we're stepping into Constantinople, the mighty city that had outlived empires, only to face its final siege at the hands of Mehmet the Conqueror. It's a tale of cannons and prayer, of emperors and sultans, of gates that had once defied the centuries now falling to a new age of gunpowder. Hey, if you enjoy these quiet journeys through history, I'd be grateful if you gave this a like or subscribe. I'm curious where you're listening from. Now, take a slow breath. Let your shoulders relax and drift with me to the final hours of Byzantium. Congratulations, you've just awakened inside Constantinople. It is the spring of 1453, and though dawn has yet to break, the air is already thick with tension. You rise from a small cot in a stone house near the seawall. Through the narrow window you hear the sound of distant bells, low and heavy, mingling with the cries of gulls and the soft splash of the Bosphorus. Shops that once bustled with silk and spice now stand half empty. Whole districts lie abandoned after decades of decline. Yet the walls still tower above the earth, layer upon layer of stone and brick, the pride of Constantinople. For 1,000 years they have turned back armies, but outside them now waits a different storm. You step into the streets. A few figures shuffle past you, priests in dark robes whispering prayers, soldiers clutching spears though their faces are pale with exhaustion. The city holds its breath. Far off across the land walls you hear it, the groan and rumble of massive cannons being prepared. Mehmet II, the young sultan of the Ottoman Turks, has brought with him a weapon the old world had never truly seen. His iron tubes large enough to hurl stones heavier than horses. When they fire, the very earth shudders. Constantinople's defenders know it. They've patched their walls by hand, night after night, filling cracks with rubble and timber. But no wall lasts forever. You join a slow stream of citizens moving toward the Hagia Sophia. The great church looms in the darkness, its dome a shadow against the starlit sky. Inside, hundreds gather, and their voices rise in hymns not of triumph but of farewell. Even Emperor Constantine XI is there, the last emperor of Byzantium, his face drawn but unyielding. He prays beside merchants, farmers, sailors, nobles, one final act of unity before the storm breaks. Constantinople has always been a city of crossroads. Roman arches beside Greek statues, Christian mosaics beside markets selling Eastern silks. You make your way to the land walls, climbing a worn staircase to the battlements. From here, the view is overwhelming. Beyond the moat, stretching into the darkness, are thousands upon thousands of Ottoman tents. Fires flicker like a sea of stars, and the faint beat of drums carries on the wind. The air smells of smoke and iron. Somewhere in that vast camp, Mehmet himself waits, only 21 years old, yet already bearing the title that will echo through time, the Conqueror. Another adjusts his armour, dented from days of skirmishes. These men are weary. Food is scarce. Hope even from your post on the wall you hear a sudden roar. A cannon fires, its blast echoing across the plain like thunder. The ground shakes beneath you. Moments later, stone crashes down as part of the wheel crumble. The defenders rush forward, hauling timber, dragging carts of stones, shouting orders in Greek and Italian. You join them. Hands roar as you help lift rubble into place. By dawn, the wall is patched again, but weaker, thinner. As the sun rises, golden light spills across the domes and towers of the city. Birds wheel above the Bosphorus, oblivious to the fate of empires, and for one fragile moment the beauty of Constantinople glows as it always has, a shining jewel between continents, and yet, beneath the glory, the sound of drums quickens. Days pass in a blur of cannon fire and desperate repair. Each night you collapse onto your cot, only to be awakened again by the booming of stone against stone. Hunger gnaws at your belly. Fear creeps in with every prayer. Yet still, till the night of May 28th, The bells toll again, not for prayer this time, but for warning. The Ottomans are moving. Torches flood the plain and the beat of war drums becomes a constant thunderous pulse. From the battlements you see wave after wave of soldiers forming ranks. First irregulars, then Anatolian troops. Ladders crash against the walls, arrows hiss through the air. The defenders fight with everything they have. Stones, boiling oil, even their bare hands. She will not flee, though escape is possible by sea. He has sworn to die with his city. Hours blur into chaos. Ottoman soldiers pour in, their cries echoing through the streets. Panic spreads. The defenders fall back. You retreat through the alleys as the city unravels around you. The cries of the dying mix with the clash of steel. And above it all, the green banner of the Ottomans begins to rise over the wall. Whether he fell fighting or was lost in the tide, no one will ever know for certain. But his empire, his 1,000-year inheritance, is gone. The Roman world ends here, in fire and ruin. The Hagia Sophia now echoes with the prayers of Islam. The streets are littered with ash and broken stone. Constantinople, once the eternal city of the East, is no more. You know you have just witnessed the moment when one world ended and another began. The Middle Ages give way to something new. And as you walk away, blending back into the quiet shadows of memory, the story of Constantinople lingers, a reminder that no wall, no empire, no city, however mighty, lasts forever.